Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder Adventure card game scenario. This is scenario 3.6. We're over at the Sky Pharaoh's throne with the character Drelm. Where at this location, the difficulty of your checks against Banes that have the mummy trait is increased by 4, and after you are dealt damage that is not reduced, vary one random card from your discard pile. Alright. Let's go ahead and see how that goes. So, advancing the Blessings deck, it is a Blessing of Pharasma, and the first card that we encounter, or I should say explore, is the Lightning Touch spell. So it's an Intelligence Arcane 4. Well, Drelm only has Intelligence of D6. Alright, so we do acquire the Lightning Touch spell. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think that could be very useful. Let's see, what do we want to do? We got a lot of good cards in our hand. Don't necessarily want to discard anything. The Lightning Touch is, well, see, Drelm's Arcane skill is only D4, so he'd only be rolling 3D4 for Lightning Touch. It seems nifty, but it's not going to help him out. Alright, Drelm likes his hand, so we're going to continue. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of the Ancients. We will explore, and we get the villain. Alright, the villain is Sensuret, the Tribe Eater. Check to defeat, combat 25. He is a mummy though, so that means that the check to defeat him is going to be +4. So we need a combat 29 check. So if the check to defeat has the cold trait, we can add 1d8, which is amazing because we do have the embalming fluid, which we are going to use. Okay, so the embalming fluid right off the bat is going to give us a D8 since it has the cool trait. So we're going to go ahead and use our Staff of the Uraeus, and we're going to discard this Staff of the Uraeus, so we roll 2d6. So we get to roll a strength or melee skill plus 1d6 plus 2 plus 1d6 plus 2. So we already have a D8 plus a plus 2 bonus for the embalming fluid. So we're going to roll our strength. We're going to roll 2d6, and our total buffs to this roll are going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got a +10 buff to all this. Well, if we had a blessing, I think we'd be all set. But as it is, we're rolling these 4 dice, and we're adding 10 to the roll. Oops, I already dropped a die. Alright, let's see what we get. So I rolled a 1, a 9, a 4, and a 3. So 9, 10, 17, and we have 27. So wow, and we needed a 29. So let's go ahead and try this one more time. What do we got here? So our total buffs were 4 for the melee, another 4 for the Staff of the Uraeus, and another 2 for the embalming fluid, but it wasn't enough. So 9, 10, 17, 18, 9, so yes, 27. 27, and we needed a 29. Okay, so we failed by 2. So, since we failed by 2, we have to take 2 points of damage. Fortunately, Drelm has a Scarab Buckler, so we can recharge this card to reduce combat damage by 3. Okay, so we don't take any damage, which is nice. But then, unfortunately, we are going to have to roll for the embalming fluid. So let's go ahead and roll high for this one. Sweet. So 6, and Drelm has a disable of +4. Okay, so sweet. So we don't have to bury a card due to the embalming fluid. But it does say here, after you act, bury 2 cards. Well, definitely want to keep the embalming fluid. We discarded our Staff of the Uraeus. So, yeah, we definitely have to keep the embalming fluid. We only have 2 more cards in our hand, Tomb Raider and Falcata. We really don't want to lose these cards, but we have to. So that's where we're at. Okay, the Tribe Eater goes back into the location deck. Well, that was really, that was a bummer, but it could have been worse. The fact that Drelm survived is actually quite amazing. Okay, rolling a D8. Seeing which card is on top. The 4th card, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Drelm's going to now reset his hand, so we don't have to. So yeah, we're still in this game. he was actually able to hold on to the embalming fluid. So very happy about that. Alright, advancing the blessings deck. So we have to do that now. Advancing the blessings deck, we get the Curse of the Ravenous at a really bad time. And now we will explore. Okay. Wow, we get a mummified sphinx. So undead sphinx mummy. Okay, so right off the bat, checks are +4. It says the mummified sphinx is immune to the mental and poison traits. Before you act, recharge your hand, reset your hand, and bury a card. Well, that sucks because we had the embalming fluid. So we have to recharge our hand, reset your hand, and bury a card. Wow. So all that before we act. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Well, do we have anything that stops before you act effects? No, we don't. Okay. So going ahead and resetting our hand. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we have to bury a card. Let's see what to do. We'll choose to bury this armor. So we'll do that. Okay, so if the check to defeat has a fire trait, add 1d6. We don't have the fire trait. So we need to do a combat 21 check. Well, we do need to do a combat 21 check. The only thing really in our hand is the death grip spell. So fortunately we are able to do it. She's only immune to mental and poison. So we got the death grip spell. So what we're going to do is we get to roll our divine skill plus 2d8. And we get to we get to add +4 to the roll. Okay, so that's all we got. 3d8 plus 4. We need a 21. So we rolled a 6 and a 4 and a 7. So 17 plus 4 is 21 on the dot. Wow, how amazing. So that was pretty cool. Very happy with that. 17 plus 4, because that was our actually, you know what? Our divine skill was actually a +5 buff. So we beat that by 1. So the mummified sphinx has been defeated. But now, this is going to be really important. This is such a great card. It has the cold trait, which is going to help us defeat Sensuret, or whatever his name is. So we really want to recharge this spell. And we rolled a 7. Plus 5 is 13. So we did recharge it. Awesome. We recharge it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to roll for the Curse of the Ravenous. Curse of the Ravenous says we have to bury spells and weapons in our discard pile. Wow, that really hurts. So we have to bury all these great cards. We're never going to see them again. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we will reset our hand. And we are going to well, before we reset our hand, we're going to cast the Sands of Time spell, because we want to get that out of our hand. That's going to be very helpful. And now we'll reset our hand. Okay, so now we're going to advance the blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Wadjet. The hand is fine. Oh, actually, you know what? So we have her. And we can reveal this card to shuffle any number of cards into your deck, then reset your hand. Well, we really want that. We really want the Scarab Buckler back, and we really want the card, the Death Grip card, because if we get Sensuret, that's really going to help out. So we're going to reveal her. We're going to throw all the cards back into the deck, shuffle up our deck, and we're really going to hope that we pick up the Death Grip spell, because I think that'll be really key to defeat the undead mummy, because we don't know when that mummy is going to be coming up. Okay, resetting Drelm's hand. Let's get the... Oh, sweet. Alright, nice. So we got some cool options. So this ally, we got the Scarab Buckler. So what we can do is... well, we're not going to use this Scarab Buckler just yet. We are going to now... Well, we're going to explore. We might regret it. Okay, sweet. We lucked out. Crocodile Skin Shield. Constitution Fortitude 5. Drelm has Constitution D6. So we don't acquire this boon. but no big deal. So what we're going to do now is, the choice is, do we want to use the Scarab Buckler? The only thing in our discard pile is the Tomb Raider. So we're not going to use the Scarab Buckler. We are going to roll for the Tomb Raider. We are rolling for Curse of the Ravenous. Sorry. So spells and weapons we have to bury. We don't have any spells and weapons in our discard pile. So we are all set. Okay, let's go ahead and advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Horus. So what we're going to do now, you know what's really cool, is she has this ability where I can discard her, and during this exploration add 1d12 to your checks against Banes that have the Cold or the Moffat or Sphinx trait. And I think that, yeah, the villain has the Cold trait. If we could somehow explore and see if the villain is coming up, that'd be really good. So as it is, tough call. We're gonna use her ability because we need to have some offense. We don't have any offense in our hand right now. I'm shuffling in. I'm gonna shuffle in 3 cards from the deck, and I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna shuffle in 4 cards. I'm gonna pick 4 brand new cards. We're gonna hope that we get the Death Grip spell. Okay, well, this is actually kind of better because using her ability, it allowed us to get the Blessing of Nethys. So the Blessing of Nethys says we can discard this card to examine the top 2 cards of your location deck and put them back in any order. Then explore your location. Okay, so we're gonna explore. We're gonna see. We got Collapsing Scaffolding. Oh, sweet! And there's no trigger effect on this, so we know he's an undead mummy. Oh, he doesn't have the Cold trait. I thought maybe, see, her ability allows me to help out against checks that have the Cold or Moffat or Sphinx. It's not Cold or Moffat or Sphinx. Oh well. Well, at least we know that he is the 2nd card coming up. So we gotta kind of get ready for him. We gotta deal with the Collapsing Scaffolding first. Okay, so this first check is Dexterity, Acrobatics, Perception. This is an obstacle. So that means that Drelm can use his, on your check, against cards that have the obstacle trait, I can add my Divine Skill. But for this first check, I'm not. So I rolled a 3. I'm going to have to use a Feather of Matt to make that a 4. So that's pretty cool. And then we have to make this the next check. So for that check, I am going to use my Divine Skill, thanks to Drelm's ability. So I think, wow, 4 and 5. Well, fortunately I got a Blessing of Kepri in my hand, so I can turn that 1 into a 6, otherwise I really would have been, Drelm would have been in trouble. Okay, so finally we did defeat the Collapsing Scaffold, and what's really cool about using that Blessing of Nethys is we know exactly what's coming up. Alright, we have to roll for Curse of the Ravenous. Curse of the Ravenous says we have to discard any allies. We have to bury him, I'm sorry. So we have to bury the Tomb Raider. He gets buried. We are going to now reset our hand. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, and now we are going to advance the Blessings deck. Well, we did actually get some cards. I don't think I'm going to use her ability to reset our hand. I did pick up the Natron Fang, so I can discard this card to add another 2d8 in the bludgeoning trait to Banes have the undead trait. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good, I think. And Sands of Time, we can add a d10 thanks to the undead trait. Okay, we're ready. Bring it on, Sensuret. So, +4. We gotta do a combat 29 check. Alright, let's go ahead and do this thing. Natron Fang time. We are going to... Natron Fang is d8, our melee skill, d10, plus a d8. Natron Fang gives us another, if I can assemble my dice, another 2d8 since it has the undead trait. And this Sands of Time gives us a d10. So in all this, we're adding a total modifier of +5. Okay. Feeling pretty good. Let's roll our dice. Alright, so we got 8, and it's 16, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So wow, so we only rolled a 28, but we did have a +5 modifier. So, I mean, pretty cool. That was definitely pretty close. So let me double check that again. So we got a 10 and a 10. We got 20, 28, and 5 is 28, 29, 33. We only needed a 29. So we defeated the Bane by 4, which is awesome. It did not have the cold trait. We did all that right. After you act, we have to bury 2 cards. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll bury we'll bury both of our allies just for fun. We are then going to reset our hand to make sure that we haven't failed. We haven't died. Drelm still had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He still had 6 cards left in his deck. So check that out. The Sky Pharaoh's Throne, last scenario of level 3, has been defeated. Wow, that was really an exciting technical difficulties here. That was a very exciting adventure. Very challenging. I liked how we failed that first time around to defeat that giant dinosaur. We had a lot of obstacles in the way, but Drelm was able to handle it. Alright, let's go ahead and do a deck check. So these are all the cards Drelm had that adventure. Embalming fluid is really cool. He had those items with the cold trait. Definitely helped out. Scarab Buckler. You know, I got mixed feelings on that card, whether I want to keep it or not. Let's go ahead and zoom those up. Effigy of Matt. Sorry, spells go there. Items go there. Yep. Really cool spell there. Blessing of Nephis. Drelm had all these cards buried that scenario. So he had these two, all 3 of those allies were buried. Those 2 weapons, the lightning touch. Okay, so let's go ahead and so the reward for this scenario is Drelm gets a roll card. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So this is the end of scenario 3. This is a really cool way to end scenario 3. So let me see if we can get the is that too blurry there? I don't think so. There we go. So Drelm can either become a Vault Keeper, or he can become the Key Master. So the Key Master, you know, he has 7 card slot with the Key Master, whereas with the Vault Keeper he just has 6 card slot. Vault Keeper is light armors, heavy armors, weapons. Does the key same thing with proficient with? Let's see. I was pretty sure I'm gonna go. I like this ability. When you encounter a card before you act, you may recharge a card that has the Abdar or Divine trait to draw a random weapon, armor, or item from the box. After you act, banish that card. I mean, I just kind of like that ability, so I'm going to go ahead and Drelm this turn, or this scenario, is going to gain the role of the Vault Keeper. So now, what we can do is Drelm already has he already has this on your check against a card that has the obstacle or trap. So now we can go ahead and add this one. It says when you would discard a blessing of the Abdar or would jet trait. So he already has these marked off, and he has this one. Okay, so those are the 3 power feats that Drelm already has. And so he can go ahead and he can get that card. So it's interesting because I'm beginning to realize that Drelm now, he's kind of limited by his hand size. So we can go ahead and max out on this power to get some stuff. This one is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we can go for the safe bet, increase his hand size so he has more options, or we can give him more options through this ability. So we're going to go ahead and mark off that power feat. That will really start off his career as a Vault Keeper. Alright, pretty exciting. Drelm made it through level 3. And let's go ahead right now. Let's go ahead and visit a trader. You know, I think Drelm, he wants to visit someone new. He wants to visit his old buddy Hayden Hopper. we're going to go ahead and see Hayden Hopper. We're going to see what kind of level 2 or 3 spells he's offering Drelm, because Drelm did gain a lightning touch spell. He can't trade it, but he can hold on to it for a weapon slot, or a spell slot rather. Alright, so Hayden Hopper says, look, I got a Caustic Fog spell for you. I got Elemental Mastery, if you're interested, or I have the Mistform spell. Well, Drelm says, those are 3 really cool choices. So let's go ahead and zoom in there. So Mistform, never really was a big fan. So Drelm's already good at defeating barriers and obstacles. Elemental Mastery, let's see what this one is. Discard to add 1d10 to a check by a character at your location to defeat a monster that evokes the acid, cold, electricity, elemental, or... So I think this is going to be good. We get to add 1d10 to our check. So we can do that along with, if we get this card, right? Discard to add 1d10 to a check by a character to defeat a monster that evokes the acid, cold, or poison trait. I think that's pretty much going to be against everyone, really. I like this because we can combo this with a weapon. So maybe we want that. But Caustic Fog, let's see what this is. Display this card. While displayed, you may add 1d8 and the acid trait to a combat check by a character at your location. You may play another spell on that check. After the check, you're dealt 1 combat damage at the end of the turn. If you don't have the Divine Skill, banish card. Otherwise, Divine 13. So, I kind of like Elemental Mastery. The question is, what cards are we going to lose in order to get that, right? So we could go ahead. Of course, the fun thing is that we can rebuild our decks then when we're done. So we can give him Advocate's Armor. Hayden Hopper, what is he? What can we give him? We can give him none of these blessings he's interested in. So if we really want Elemental Mastery, well, we could trade him that ally. We have to get a new ally. We don't want to lose, you know, I could give him the Effigy of Matt. I mean, I kind of want to keep that card. I don't know if we need it, though. This one we're always going to keep. This one is iffy. We could, if we really want Elemental Mastery, we could just trade these 2 cards. That's going to kind of take him down a different path. I kind of like the Advocate's Armor. And Staff of the Uraeus. So, well, we're definitely not trading the Natron Fang. So I don't know. It's kind of hard. Any spells we could trade him? We could just trade him to... He's only interested in the Death Grip spell. But we kind of want to keep that one. That one's kind of fun. So, or we could trade him Advocate's Armor. So, I'll let you know at the beginning of the next adventure what I decided to do. I'm kind of leaning towards Elemental Mastery. I'm going to have to trade these 2 items in order to get that. That means we're going to kind of take Drelm on a different area. I kind of like him having like these this whole matte theme. So I can let him keep the whole matte theme, but then I would have to lose these 2 things. So this one gives me let's see, I can add +2 to my diplomacy check. This card lets me do +1/8 to my diplomacy check. So, see, I like this combo because it allows me to have add to my diplomacy check these 2 things. So I kind of want to keep that. I want to keep her, or not. This is the only card that I really don't mind keeping, tossing. I can also toss the Cleric and Nephis because this is going to be level 3. You know, that's what we're going to do. We are going to toss these 2 guys, these 2 allies, because we got a level 3 and 2. We're going to get Elemental Mastery. And now, for Drelm to make a legit deck, he'll have to have new allies of level 1 or basic for the start of the next adventure. Okay, well, we thank Hayden Hopper for giving us the Elemental Mastery spell, which is what we just got. And that is the state of Drelm's deck. Let me go ahead and zoom out for you. There it is. Alright, well, thanks for watching. A really exciting adventure. I had a lot of fun. And I'll have another adventure up shortly. Alright, thank you.